Hello, art class, and welcome to another day in the art room. I'm going to be teaching the lesson today, and the sub, Miss Fikes, is going to be pausing it as we do each step. Please be on your best behavior. Remember, I'll be back soon, but I need you guys to be a little patient. So what you're going to do is you're going to start with 2 pieces of normal printer paper. Today we're going to be learning about several things. Last semester, we learned about the elements of art, which are the pieces of art that you use to make art. Line, value, all of the things, the tools that you use. Now we're going to be learning this semester, or quarter, about the principles of art. And the principles of art are the rules that those elements follow to make good art, so that it looks good. So we're going to first be learning about balance. So first you're going to take these 2 pieces of paper and we're going to be practicing 2 kinds of balance. There are actually 3 types of balance, but we will learn about that, the third one, another day. So I'm going to have the sub pause the video and make sure everyone has 2 pieces of paper. All right, now that everyone has 2 pieces of paper, what I want you to do is I want you to fold them in half. Now keep in mind I'm one-handed, so everything I do in this video isn't going to be as nice as those of you following the directions, because you're not holding the phone one-handed. So I want you to fold both of those papers in half, and we want to do hamburger style. We're not doing long and thin, we're doing the fat way. And then I want you to open them both up. And you can put one to the side because we're going to be using only one first. So I'm going to have the sub pause this video and come around and make sure that everybody has their 2 pieces of paper. All right, now that everybody has their 2 pieces of paper, we're going to talk about the 2 kinds of balance we're learning today. Remember, there are 3, but we're learning about 2 today. And those 2 are formal and informal balance. Now, you've probably heard the word formal about dances at school. And if you think about what formal means for that, you know that everyone's going to look very nice, they're going to be dressed up, it's going to be formal. So when formal is translated into art, it means same on both sides. So as I'm doing this, I'm going to try and be the same on both sides. Now, you can draw whatever you want as long as it's appropriate. Okay? I'm going to draw some simple things because I have one hand and I'm holding the camera with the other. So my paper is going to slide around and it's going to be hard for me to do. So what I want you to do is I want you to see this line. We're going to start on that line. So I'm going to just draw half a circle. Now, as I draw, I want to copy what I do on the other side. I don't want to draw a big drawing over here and then try and copy it, because it's not going to end up as nice. So once I've done that, I can then copy it on the other side. Now, yours is going to look more matching than mine. Remember, I am one-handed. So then maybe I want to draw a triangle. And it does not have to be the most beautiful art. However, it could be. If you wanted to draw a face and use that symmetry or that same on both sides, that would work. Imagine that this is a mirror and this is where you're drawing. So whatever you draw has to show up in the mirror. Now, one of those tricks, because I know a lot of people mess this up, is let's say I wanted to draw an F. F for fun. A lot of people would then draw the same F over here. However, to make it look like it's looking inside of a mirror, that F is going to have to change directions. Okay, so we have formal balance going on. It's same on both sides. I could add an I. And yours doesn't have to be random stuff like what I'm doing. You could draw an actual face. You could draw, I mean anything really. just as long as it's the same on both sides. Think of it as like those ink blots that a lot of psychologists will ask people about. So I'm just going to keep making a cool design. Actually, I'm not, but you are. And I want to fill up the whole paper. What I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have the sub give you guys 10 minutes to get this drawn. Don't worry about color. If we have time, you'll be able to add color. But for right now, let's just focus on getting it done. So I'm going to have the sub pause this video and wait 10 minutes before starting it again. Go. All right, so I'm guessing you've had 10 minutes. You've made yours way nicer than mine, probably not quite as random, or if it is, that's fine too. And it's formal balance. So I'm going to write right up here, or maybe on the back if you've covered the whole thing too much. Formal balance. Formal. F-O-R-M-A-L. So we know this is formal. Remember, you're dressing up nice. It's the same on both sides. It's perfect, or close to perfect. Remember, perfect doesn't really exist. And then I'm going to put this to the side, and now it's time for informal, which is going to be spelled I-N-F-O-R-M-A-L. Informal. Now, informal is the opposite of formal. It's going to be different on both sides. But remember, it's not just formal and informal. It's formal balance and informal balance. So balance is when you try and get something to balance. Now, I'm probably not going to do a very good job, but you see how my pencil keeps trying to fall down? So there I have it balancing. Notice that I had to put the heavier part shorter and that part longer because right here was heavier. So I'm going to try and balance things out. So see how that fell? We don't want ours to fall. So there's a few visual tricks to make something balanced. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with a shape or whatever you want, a picture. Maybe drawing a dog if you want. Just make sure you can copy it down nicely. In fact, it doesn't have to be the same on this side, so it does not have to match. So let's say I have a circle. I'm going to put a big white circle right here. Now, when something's far away from the middle line, it's going to feel heavier because if you have something right by the strong part, right here, it's not going to pull the pencil down as much as if I hung something from here. It would pull the pencil up. So right now, I have an unbalanced piece of paper. In your mind, you see this and you think it would go whoop and fall. So it's not balanced right now. So I have not met my challenge yet. So what I'm going to do, sorry, it's getting blurry, is I'm going to balance it. Now, this is big and far away, so I have to match it with something big and far away. And I'm going to come around right here, and I'm going to match it. So now I have two matching circles, and it feels balanced. It might feel a little too heavy here because this one's a little bigger. So what I can do, if it's light colored, white, it's going to feel lighter. If it's dark, it's going to feel heavier. Now, I'm not going to go too dark because this is only a little bit. And keep in mind, you're going to color better than me, smaller than that. And now they feel more balanced. This one's a little bigger, so it feels a little heavier, but this one's a little darker, so it feels a little heavier, and it equals them out. There are lots of ways to find balance. If I want something to be really light and something to be really heavy, I can, well, not really heavy. Let's say I'm going to do a little triangle. And I'm going to color that triangle really dark. Now, even though it's small, it now has some weight. Look, now it's unbalanced. It feels like it would fall over. So to balance that out, I'm going to do something close to the line. But remember, if I did a little triangle just like this one close to the line, this would still feel heavier. So what I can do is I can do a big triangle close to the line. Now suddenly, it doesn't feel like it's going to fall over. There's a few other ways I can do things. If I want something to be a little heavy but not too heavy, I can put a design in it. which would be way better if I had more than one hand. So now this is going like that. What I can do is we have these two combined make this not heavy enough. So I could go in and color that in to make it feel heavier. See how I'm balancing? I'm doing one thing on every side for everything I do. I want you to get 7 things on either side, and I want it to balance. I'm going to show you on the back another thing. You don't have to do 1 to 1 too. So if you want to do 3 things on one side and 11 things on another, as long as you have 14 total, that's okay, as long as they balance. Because you could have a whole bunch of little things to one giant thing. I could have like 7 little triangles and 1 big circle, and they would balance. Or I could do something like triangle. Once again, I'm one-handed and the paper is moving, so yours is going to look way better than mine. I am going to be grading you on effort, so if yours looks like this, you're not going to be getting that effort grade. So I have 3 guys here and 1 guy here, but they balance. If I wanted to, I could do stripes and color every other stripe on this and then just color this guy dark to make it balance. So play around with balance. You can use both sides. Make sure your name is on it somewhere. Make sure you have 14 items total. It can be 7 on either side, or it can be more on one side and less on the other, just as long as they balance with informal balance. When you're done, ask the sub and she can staple these 2 together. Make sure you have your name on it. If you want to and you're working and you've got all of your objects in, you can ask for colored pencils and color them. Have a wonderful day. Remember, this is just an exercise to learn about formal and informal balance, and I will see you eventually. Have a wonderful day. Happy art.